What's going on, y'all? The reviewer is here, and I'm back to give y'all this album review of Ice Cube called War and Peace, and this is the War disc. So this is the first part of Ice Cube album. This came out in 1998 under Priority Records and Lynch Mob Productions, and this is the real CD right here. This is Ice Cube's 5th album that was released. Now this right here is probably my personal favorite Ice Cube album, and I'll explain more of that in a little while. I remember when this album first came out. This came out around the time when the Players Club movie came out. I was like 15, 16 years old at the time, so I didn't really hear it out really because of all the albums that came out around that time frame. But with that being said, let me give y'all the producers who made the beats for this album. The producers for this album was Buddha, E.A. Ski, Ice Cube himself, K-Mac, N.O. Joe, and T-Mix. Y'all should know about T-Mix, Suave House Records or Suave Records. And then the features, I'll tell y'all who it is as we go along with the song. Let's go with the songs now. Go up a little bit, should be able to see it. So the first one is called Ask About Me. And this is a pretty nice way to start off the album.
Check it in on the West Coast. Ask about me. Check it in the dirty strap. Ask about me. Check it in the Midwest.
If y'all know about Ice Cube and how he does, he comes through with some pretty nice lyrics. I think this is a pretty solid track to start off.
Must have sound. I started letting off rounds, laid the whole room down. I don't wanna see your honor, rather eat piranha from
Pushin' Weight. This features Mr. Short Chop.
I push rhymes like weight. I push rhymes like weight. I push rhymes.
This is a bumping track right here. If y'all don't understand the content of the song, he's talking about rhymes. He pushed rhymes like weight. And Ice Cube come through with some really dope verses, and then Short Chop does well on this track as well.
I'm out for armored bucks and armored trucks with armed killers. Get swallowed by the armadillos. Ain't no harm in me.
And the beat is nice, and I love that hook. You know how Ice Cube does it, man. So this is a really good track from him. Dr. Frankenstein. Now this is one of my personal favorites off of the album.
Dr. Frankenstein. Dr. Frankenstein.
Ice Cube is just rapping about how he represents himself as Dr. Frankenstein because he created like the gangster rap that was in the music back in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? And this is a really tight track. This song sounds like something you can play like around Halloween. Whereas when you hear it, it's definitely dope, man. It's the perfect track to play.
I cuss, scandalous, I give a rush to people who mind turn to mush, smoking on brush. Hush, I'm just a lush photo.
To add my 2 cents, I know a lot of people think Frankenstein was the monster, which was false. Dr. Frankenstein, he's the doctor who created the monster. So just wanted to put that out there because I know a lot of people always confuse, I ain't gonna say a lot, but some people confuse Frankenstein as the monster, which is false. So just wanted to put that out there.
Ooh-wee, it's a lie. You better run and hide, cover your ears and your eyes. Ooh-wee, it's a lie.
Next one is called F Dying, and this features Korn. Korn is the, the rock and roll band. This is a really dope track from Ice Cube. This song, they're talking about Death trying to approach Ice Cube, but he's like, nah, get away from me, blah, blah, blah. If you put your hands on me, we scrapping at the beginning. And his alias on this album was Don Mega.
You can call me Citizen Kane for my reign. 10 years straight, one of the 10 great. Mr. Media, look inside your encyclopedia.
Now, there's a video for this song as well. This track is blazing, man. I love this song right here. And then Korn, see, a lot of people think features means you have to actually say something, which is not the case. There's Korn in the background playing it, like the guitars and all that other good stuff. This is probably one of my personal favorites off of the album, man. I really love it. And I really love it when they have rap songs mixed with rock and roll and all that good stuff. I always love that. Really good track off of this album. And the next one is the title War and Peace. There's a female singing on the hook. I'll put her name in the description box. This is a really nice cut from Ice Cube. War and Peace, the song itself is from the No Doubt group called Don't Speak, and this is a really darker track.
I'd rather break bread than break your head, break your legs, have them broke. I ain't no joke, don't provoke.
And he comes through with some really nice verses, and the hook is so catchy. I love that hook. Then next one is called Ghetto Vet.
Fool, I'm a vet, you can bet that I could dance underwater and not get wet. Check it.
It's raining bullets and I'm still there.
I'll give y'all a short brief. So Ghetto Vet is pretty much about a guy who was in that street life and then he got caught up.
They said, are you from the west side? Is it so? I said, hell yeah, and who wanna know? Me. In slow-mo.
Peckin order. Peckin order, this features Mac 10, even though he doesn't actually raps on here.
It's the peckin order. It's the peckin order.
This track is kind of scary a little bit, man. If y'all understand what the peckin order is. The peckin order is pretty much like down the list, like the chain of command. So at the beginning, you hear Ice Cube says,
somebody gonna tell you what to do after I tell that cocksucker what to do.
And then he comes through with a really dope verses, man. I mean, this song is a really scary key of how things could be in the industry too.
Push my legs through the California rain. Gutter lane. Infamous schemes on the brain for my Connect gang.
So Mac 10 talks a little at the end on some crazy stuff. Limos, demos, and bimbos. I've always loved this title, man. This features Mr. Short Chop.
Limos, demos, and bimbos. I'm only with the limos, demos, and bimbos.
And this is a blazing track from Ice Cube, man. He comes through with some really dope verses.
I can give a about you hating on my way to the Coliseum with 17.5 weight. They scream for the limousine.
And then Short Chop does well on this track.
You're living so trite, you need Jesus in your life.
I always love when he says that, man. This is another one of my personal favorites off of the album.
It's all about the thoroughbred. Top choice with the voice, the key. Mr. Show Top expected the truest.
Once Upon a Time in the Projects 2.
Once upon a time in the project. Once upon a time in the project. It was once upon a time in.
Y'all should be familiar with this song if y'all know the song Once Upon a Time in the Projects on the America's Most Wanted album. This one here is a part 2. This is a pretty solid track for Ice Cube. He tells a nice little story about how he's in the project dealing with ghetto stuff and things of that nature.
Baby up in 210 is on a nigga. Bending over picking up a mail. She can tell I'm dying to get her. I'm sitting in your living room.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily better than the first one, but it's still pretty good. I think it's worth listening to. XB's.
Forget you, forgot you.
This was a dope track right here from Ice Cube, man. He's pretty much talking about the ex-females that he dealt with in his lifetime before he got married to the woman he's married to now.
Quick, I got 50 cents on this Genesis, talking about homies got to vacate the premises. No, homie.
And it's a really tight dedication to those that may have ex-girlfriends or even ex-boyfriends that went through this mess and now once they're doing good, they want to come back. You're like, no, stay over there. You didn't like me when I first, or you didn't want to deal with me when I was in my stage. Don't deal with me now. I love it when he's on the hook. He said, F you, and especially you. But he comes through with some really dope verses, and I love the verses that he said on the last one.
Screwing everything that I could get my paws on, walking through hell with gasoline draws on. Now I'm on the mic.
Extradition. This is a really nice track, man. This is one of my personal favorites from Ice Cube.
These feds fishing for this extradition. I'm on a mission. Fade them, fight them, dodge them, ditch them. I got the kick rocks. I can't pick.
This song is pretty much about him trying to escape prison, and he's doing a lot of illegal stuff. And at the beginning, he wrote a letter to his mom saying that he's innocent in every way, and I swear I didn't do what they said I done, or something like that.
Tweaking, suckers be leaking information. Got the feds seeking incarceration. People say my name pop.
And the end of the song, it's really deep. Y'all gotta hear it. But he tells a nice little story throughout the song, and I'm like, this is what the rap game is lacking nowadays, or am I missing? But it's a really dope track with the beat goes in as well.
And they got us in here putting in computer chips or something. I don't know. It's like they playing with us. It's like a game.
3 Strikes You In. This is a really good track from Ice Cube.
1, 2, 3 strikes you in. Now how the hell a fool supposed to stay out the pen? I'm on the blend of gin and hen every day.
If y'all understand the title of this song, he's talking about like sports, but he's saying it in a ghetto type way or in rap form.
It's the West Side Hustlers versus these LA pigs. You can say the Dares versus the Niggas. My little homies in the.
He's referring to the police and all that stuff. So it's a really nice creative content from Ice Cube, man, if you're into that.
I'ma hit this baseball a mile in the batter's box. Hire Steve Howe. You can't salary cap my gap. No.
Then the last one is called Penitentiary. And this beat, I love this beat.
Penitentiary, I hear you calling me. Penitentiary, I hear you calling me. Thinking of illegal.
And if y'all know about this song, he's talking about the ones that's locked up or the ones that got locked up. He's talking about some really deep stuff on this song here. And like I said, this beat, I think this beat was produced by E.A. Ski. And Ice Cube goes in with the verses, man. One of my favorite lines on there is when he said,
the judge gave me an L, but y'all can't tell. I wait and cry in my cell, convicted Negro.
I love that line because it's indicating that for those that get locked up, they're not going to show the judge that they're weak. They're going to say, you know what, I'm going to hold my head up high until I enter the cell. It's deep because I know a lot of the guys out there went through this.
Just because you gotta stay, you ain't gotta ride away. We gon' come and get you one day. Just because you gotta stay, you ain't gotta ride away. We gon' come and get you one day.
So, that's all the songs that I reviewed for this album. To rate this out of a 10, I would give this a solid 8.5 to a 9, a solid 8.75 out of a 10. I would say that Ice Cube really put it down for this album, man. And even though his last album had came out in '93, it was the Lethal Injection. He had like bootlegs and B-sides album, but I don't really count that. It was more of a compilation. This goes to show that Ice Cube was still keeping it relevant throughout all these years. You know what I'm saying? That he got in the rap game. Because his first album came out in 1990 or 91. He's been putting down since the NWA days in the 80s. So to me, Ice Cube is considered one of the hardest rappers in the industry. And it's sad that he does not get mentioned when it comes to his lyricism and perhaps his flows. The younger generations may not be aware of this album either, because most of them know the only songs that they may know about Ice Cube is Today Was a Good Day, which was a pretty good song, don't get me wrong, but they don't know the whole deep aspect of Ice Cube when he was in his prime. And then this album right here was kind of under the radar with a lot of the cats out here that was bringing new music to the table. With that being said, I would recommend checking this album out if you're an Ice Cube fan, or if you're unfamiliar with his works. I would say start off with Death Certificate first, because I think that's probably the best Ice Cube album of all times, and that's just my opinion. I would suggest checking that out first and go to this one, because War and Peace, this was a very dark album for those that never heard it before. This is probably one of the darkest albums that Ice Cube came out with. That's it though. Be on the lookout for the next Ice Cube album I review called the Peace Disc that he came out with later. That's it. Shout out to Ice Cube for coming out with a dope album. Much love to the real folks and everybody that was on this album or that was a part of it. But I'll be on here back with another review. All right. Peace out, guys.